Are you tired of dying over and over and over again? Then in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to take your gameplay from this and turn it into something that looks a little like this. After these 5 tips I'm about to give you, you're going to be getting more triple kills and dropping more nukes in your game to impress your friends. Now, you may be asking yourself, Sway, these guns are 2 completely different things. And you're right, this is what's going to lead us into our very first tip. The gun that you use is a very important decision that you're going to make, and it's going to influence your playstyle and how you play Call of Duty Mobile. If your playstyle is more of a passive playstyle and you enjoy sniping, then a sniper is of course going to be your best option over a submachine gun. But if your playstyle is more of the run and gun type of playstyle like mine is, a submachine gun is probably going to be the better choice than a sniper. Now, I'm not saying that you can't mix these playstyles at all, because there's definitely some cracked snipers that are very aggressive players. I'm just saying that you're going to be a little more consistent throughout time, and being a consistent player is always going to lead to a better player. Now let's get into tip number 2. Positioning correctly around the map is going to greatly influence how many kills that you're going to be getting, and most Call of Duty maps can be broken down into 3 different lanes, and if you can get good enough to lock down 1 or even 2 of the lanes that people have to run down, it's going to lead to a lot higher kill streaks and you getting nukes. The cool thing about taking a lane is if you're not doing very well in that position, you can always move to a different lane and try that one. Every Call of Duty round is going to have different players with different play styles, so the earlier you can lock down a lane, the more kills you're going to be getting that game. Holding down a lane at first might be pretty hard, but tip number 3 is going to help you guys out with that, so let's get into it. Looking at your minimap is the easiest way to become a better player, but it's definitely a lot easier said than done. When I'm checking the minimap, I'm usually just seeing where my teammates are. I can see that my whole team is over by the B flag, so that tells me that there's going to be 1 or 2 guys flanking around to the C flag, and maybe a couple of guys either going up through the middle to B. Playing around your teammates is definitely one way to get to the top of the leaderboards in every single lobby you join. Enemies are never going to spawn where your whole entire team is spawning, so typically you want to be on the other side of where your whole team is at. Now do be careful with this strategy, because that does mean you're going to be put in a 1v6 situation a lot of times against their whole team. But with this next tip I'm going to give you guys, that's definitely going to help fix that problem. Having good crosshair placement is going to greatly affect whether you win or lose a gunfight. Here's an example of bad crosshair placement. There's not enough time to adjust your aim and flick to the enemy, so you end up dying first. You're also wasting bullets and precious time to kill the enemy. This is what better crosshair placement looks like. I'm constantly hovering my crosshair over places I think the enemy could run out of, and this means that I only have to have a fast enough reaction time to actually fire the gun. I don't have to aim it. That you're going to end up killing the enemy a lot faster, so if you ever find yourself in a 1v2 situation, this is going to help out so much. Now it's time for the last and final tip. You guys have to be able to play patient. We all know that Call of Duty timing is definitely a thing. Being able to play corners patiently and just take your time waiting for the enemy is a very strong thing to have. If you have the enemy spawn trapped, it's very important that you stay patient and hold down the position that you're at. You don't want to push too far forward or you're going to move their spawns. I've used all the tips I've provided in this video just in this gameplay alone, and it's led me to get a nuke. So these tips definitely work. If any of these tips did help you guys out, dropping a like or even subscribing to my channel would help me out a ton. But thank you guys for watching, and just remember,